Hi, this is Deborah from dinglefoot.com, and this week I'm going to show you another neat technique that you can do with your alcohol inks. So I have some alcohol inks. This is my Dockside picnic set once again. I have a little bit of alcohol, or you can use the alcohol ink blending solution, but alcohol works too. I have my alcohol ink applicator, and I have glossy cardstock, which is a must if you're going to be using the alcohol inks. I also have a butterfly stamp, and as you can see, I have a candle lit. So I'm going to be using a little bit of fire along with our alcohol inks, and I also have some clear coat. And this is the final step. Don't put this near your candle. That's not a good idea. So keep that away from the heat. We're going to use this later in a safe place where you can safely be spraying things with fumes and it won't hurt anything. So let me show you what this looks like first of all. If you can see this, there's a really muted horse picture in there, and here is another one. This one I didn't even use alcohol inks in, but you can see the horse picture in the background. And here's another one I did with butterflies. I kind of messed it up a little bit. You can see the stripe here, and that happens when you get your candle wax on your image, and that's not a good idea. It just kind of ruins your image. But let's go ahead and get started with this. Really simply, take your alcohol inks. We're just going to apply them to our felt here. You can see I've used this felt before. And once it dries, it's not a problem. You can just use it again. So I'm going to add my colors. You just simply squirt them onto your felt. Just wherever you want them. And for this card, instead of putting the colors all over my cardstock like I did in my previous video, I'm going to just kind of go more around the edges. It's okay to get it in the middle here, but it's really going to mute your image quite a bit. So I'm going to try to be a little bit more sparing in the center here. I'm going to dab it very lightly. And of course with these alcohol inks, if you want to mute them just a little bit, just put some alcohol right on your felt, or you can also put it right on your glossy paper too. But I'm going to mute these and blend them just a little bit with my alcohol. And we're going to let that dry for a minute. It doesn't take long at all. You could use your heat tool and that will dry it super duper fast. But we're going to just wait here a second. I'll be right back while that dries, and then I will show you what we do with the candle. Alright, I'm back. It's just about a minute later. My paper's dry. So now we're going to actually soot our paper. So to accomplish this, you're going to take your paper, turn it over, and you're going to run the flame over it right against the paper. And this is a little bit tricky. Try not to ever get it down in the wax of the candle, because that will destroy our image that we're going to put on it. So we're going to take this and just run the paper. You can see the candlelight right through my paper. You can see it's already getting a little bit black. I'm going to try to do this a little bit more. If you catch your paper on fire, that's probably going to happen a couple times. Just blow it out. But if you can see on this one, I did catch it on fire, but it made a really cool edge on it, a tattered edge. And I did the one by accident, so I caught the rest of it on fire just to make it look a little bit neat. So it's not a problem. This might take a little bit of practice. But just try to get this nicely sooted. Okay, you can see it's getting nice and black. I want a little bit more. Okay, and my stamp's kind of large, so I want to get a little more area covered. This is the stamp I'm going to use on it. It's a butterfly and it's kind of big, so I do need to get this a little bit more. If you're getting too close to the edges and you don't want to get burnt, grab a clothes peg to hold the corners with, because you really don't want to burn your fingers doing this. Okay, That's getting better. Alright, I think that'll work. See how nice and smoky that is? Well, now I'm going to take my stamp. I'm hoping I made the area big enough. I think that'll be pretty close. So all we're going to do, we're not going to use any ink. This is just our plain stamp on an acrylic block. And all we're going to do is just press it right down into that nice black soot. My stamp's a little large for my block here, so I'm just going to make sure I press that down good. I really need to get a bigger block, don't I? Every time I do this, my stamp's bigger than my block. So, okay, just carefully lift that off. And isn't that just beautiful, that image on there? Just be careful you don't touch it, because it will rub right off. And that is the reason for our clear coat. Just take this to your garage or somewhere safe, outside maybe, and just spray it very gently. Just cover your whole image so that this doesn't go anywhere, and that will set it in place. It'll be perfect. And another trick I learned too is if your image did not stamp quite correctly, you can just take a pencil or a stylus or anything and just kind of mark right through the soot and fix your image. So that is a great technique. We can also do this without any alcohol ink. If you just want an image like this, just make sure you're extra careful. Put a clothespin on here so you can hold it, and then soot your paper. This is the glossy cardstock also, and then just gently move your clothespin around each edge because you want to get it sooted all over. And you just follow the same process. Stamp your image and then take it out and spray it with some kind of clear coat to finish it off. And that just makes such a neat front for a card or a neat accent on a scrapbook page. I hope you enjoyed this video today. Thanks so much for watching, and if you like it, please remember to leave me a comment.